First of all, Roe.
Well, we don't really have anything conclusive. We know he's at the hospital. We know that he's had x-rays. That's all we know. No, in fact, we had our trainer called right away and just to see if we knew anything. But, you know, we're hopeful. We're keeping our fingers crossed that, you know, it's just something that's dislocated, can be put back, and just real sore. I sure would like to have him participate next week in the conference tournament. It's a real sour pill to have worked this hard, come this far in a day that's supposed to be somewhat celebratory. And that's the one thing about things like ring ceremonies and senior day. Sometimes the opponent doesn't want to cooperate. What fans may not know is that my 4th year as a head coach in Valdosta State, we had one of our seniors. We were getting ready to bring him out of the game. We were winning big. It was under a minute to play. I was getting ready to bring him out for some applause. Chasing down a loose ball, he tore his ACL. We were ranked 3rd in the country. We were something like 24-3 at the time, and I can remember when we left the student body a few days later to take off for the conference tournament. He could not go and was on crutches because he could not travel on the bus. And I remember leaving on the bus and everybody sobbing. I mean, literally grown men, players, everybody just heartbroken because this guy was a big emotional lift for us. And in many ways, Roosevelt's just like that. I'm hopeful that it's not as complete or as bad as that. We just don't know yet. But I think maybe that experience has helped me, bolster me a little bit. You know, you have to be prepared for the next thing. And you have to keep your team ready for the next thing. It's a shame that we can't take a breather. It's, you know, but as I said to our team at one point, we were up 7 or 8 in the huddle. I said, it just wouldn't be us if we didn't make it interesting, would it? And, you know, whether it's Rose circumstances or playing these grinders, but you look at the league results today. Double overtime, McNeese and Nicholls, overtime in another game. Oral Roberts losing at home to UCA on the last day to maintain the 7th slot in the tournament. I think I heard Corpus and Stephen F. are tied at the half. You know, and even Sam made a great push at Northwestern State before falling. You know, that's just, you know, just kind of the parity of our league and just shows how competitive it is. So, you know, it's a mixed feeling. I'm so delighted to have senior day. It's always a little emotional. You're trying not to be distracted. You want to celebrate these kids, but you know you have to go beat an opponent over here as well. And then to compound that with Rose injury and obviously seeing him in agony and leaving in an ambulance, that's never good. But I give our guys a lot of credit for rallying, coming back, and taking control of a game that could have very easily wobbled away from us. Brandon Fortenberry was excellent, but we got nice contributions from a number of people, including Anochiochi, who took the minutes from Roosevelt Johnson.
He sure did. He played a real good game today, too.
He did. And, you know, he's been doing that in very efficient numbers. He may be the most efficient offensive player in the country. He comes in 5, 6, 7 minutes, and he's like, we should probably call him the microwave. He heats up so fast. He can step out on a center guard, doesn't guard him. He can hit the 3. He's very athletic. You know, more gray hair. I have enough of it, but more gray hair. We turn and miss a dunk. It's a great play, but we don't have a finish. Brandon's got it. We just need to run out the clock. We tried to go for the finishing blow, and we miss a dunk and get a technical. It was just typical of the day that seemed like we could not get totally coordinated, but we did enough, and we got a double-digit win, and you can never look that in the mouth. And a couple of things for our listeners and fans that only 6 teams that I know of in the modern era, so let's say since ESPN, so around 1980, and Matt Sullivan may correct me later on, but only 6 teams have won double-digit conference games in school history. I think one of John Lau's teams did it in the 96, 97, somewhere in that range. Billy did it twice in his last 2 years, and we've done it 3 times since I've been here. And to get to double-digit wins, to win 10 or more games in conference play is a real accomplishment. It's a real, you've done something. You've had to beat some of the upper echelon schools and compete with them, and you've had to take care of people at your level or below in conference play. And we know that we could have done a little bit more, but we've gone through 3 phases of the season. We had a brutal non-conference schedule, 3rd toughest schedule in the country as of rated this past week. We got into league play, and a lot of people wrote us off. And you know what? We just didn't buy into that. We had big picture thinking. I give our kids a lot of credit, and our seniors stayed with it. We're still a work in progress. We're still not the team we want to be yet, but we're getting there. And we finished lone possession of 4th place. That means as one of the top 4 teams in the league, we get a bye. We get an extra day. And you never know. That work might be the difference between Roosevelt Johnson playing or not. And now we're in the final and sweetest phase of the season. It's a 3-game sprint, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 8 teams will try to raise a trophy over their head. Only one will do it. And I was feeling a little better about our chances 4 or 5 hours ago. Now with Roosevelt, you have to recalibrate a little bit if you don't have him. But I still feel good about what this team can accomplish. And we're going to have to. We're going to play the winner of Nicholls and McNeese. I think that's pretty much set. Yeah. And then we'll take it step by step from there. Try to enjoy these days and get ready and go to Katy, Texas for the conference tournament.
Coach, you were 9-8 going in conference going into today's game. What's the difference between going into a conference tournament 10-8 or 9-9?
Well, I think a couple things. Tiebreakers. Oh yeah, we finished fourth, but we tied with several other schools. From a recruiting and a morale standpoint, say no, we were the lone. We were with these other guys. We were with Oral Roberts and Northwestern State and Lamar. We weren't with these other guys who had to play their way in. But I just think too, the double-digit wins. More than anything, it just makes you feel like you're going in with a little momentum. You're going in with a little bit of a good feel. You don't want to drop this last game. And, I think, the reason I was delayed, we were trying to find out some things on the phone, and then I had we'll have a team meeting tomorrow, and we'll have a packet of information, itinerary, and all of that, and some spiritual guidance, if you will, getting ready for the week, where our heads should be. But we started to address that even tonight because I knew guys could be very worried. They might be wanting to go to the hospital. They got family here. We've got to really, more than anything, we know some of the plays. If we have the energy, we'll be okay. But we've got to make sure our heads and our hearts are in the right place and we're focused, because it doesn't take much. 5, 6, 8 minutes of bad basketball can end your season right now. And we have not been great at being able to play 40 complete minutes. Even tonight, we get into some good stretches and then we get into some wobbly ones. We're going to be on a neutral court. Are we going to be able to handle that? We're very good at home. We're so-so, although we've won a few road games in league play, but we haven't always been great. And to play that complete game, to get Brandon performing like he performed tonight, is going to be huge. At this point, and we're going to go as he goes. And I hope he goes well, and I hope we're playing on Saturday night a week from now.
Well, I hope so too. Brandon had an incredible game. I mean, the move he made down the lane right here in front of me, that was fantastic.
I was hopeful that we would attack a little more early. I thought we could have made a